The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya may have been a Marquez domination, with Alex winning and meaning the title can't be wrapped up here. But MotoGP moves into the World Circuit of Marco Simoncelli here in Mazzano for round 16 of the 2025 season. We're underway then with what's going to be a very special event. The green light is on and the first session of the weekend is underway. We move away from Sepang. The Asia race is completed. We head to the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao, Portugal. Welcome to round 21 of 22 of the MotoGP World Championship in 2025. The Algarve Circuit is a roller coaster. What are we going to expect to see here today? Green light and away we go. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box then. It is the first free practice session of the weekend. Just 2 races remain in MotoGP in 2025. This is going to be something very special. Also, something else that's going to be very special. For the first time, we will have a rider tracker a bit later on in the session. We're just having a few difficulties making its way in towards the broadcast system. But we do have a rider tracker for the last 2 rounds of the season and going into next year with testing as well. So, overcast conditions here in the Algarve, chances of rain throughout the weekend. That's going to make everything a little bit more spicy. The championship wrapped up, and if you're a fan of the World Superbikes, a little bit of a new name coming in as well, as Nicolo Bulaga, who was runner-up in the World Superbike Championship this year to top right Razgatlioglu, is debutising here for the last 2 rounds and is going in place of Marc Marquez, who won't be back for the rest of the season. Neither, it looks like, will Jorge Martin. He doesn't look like he'll be back as well. So the last 2 champions of MotoGP are not here. Paco Bagnaia a bit up in the air about what's happening, but it all looks good as the riders are out there on the circuit. Let's cross over then down to TNT. Get the latest news.
Quite a lot of grey clouds. There's a 50% chance of some rain today. But Top Rack said, oh, you know, I think he could be top 10. That from what we've seen previously, that sounds incredibly optimistic. What do you think?
I think it's going to be tough to be top 10, and if he does, that's going to be mighty impressive. You know, there is a lot to take on. Obviously, he's got vast experience of the track, but when you get into a MotoGP bike, the biggest difference for me is the tires. He's going to have to use to get used to that feel of the front tire, especially. The rear tire, you can figure it out quite quickly. You know, when those bikes, they have so much power, and those riders, you know, they're all capable of spinning it and get a feel for the grip and for how much traction they have. With the front, it's very different. You need to really feel exactly what the front tire is doing, what feedback it's giving you. And the Pirelli to the Michelin is very, very different. So that's going to be the big challenge for me for Bulega this weekend. And it's a little bit of a race against the clock. You know, you need time, and that's why you wanted to do a test. That's why you wanted to get used to it a little bit before, you know, diving into these free practice sessions, which really, they aren't free practice sessions. Those riders, they are flat out straight away. So you jump into that, and like Neil said, you're going to look back and feel like, oh, I don't want to be in the way of anybody. Yeah, I want to get a feel on my own and have a bit of time for myself. So that's the hardest bit. So yeah, for Bulega, it's going to be tough.
The question is, Susie, this is what I think. I was talking about it this week with someone. So tell me who he's going to beat.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
You know what I mean? And
you've got 2 riders probably.
Chantra.
Yeah.
And Savadori. Yeah, who's obviously a test rider.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
The next person, normally, I'm only doing this calculation by looking at the championship standings. is Miguel Oliveira.
That's not going to happen here, is it?
It's not going to happen here, is it? So then the next one is Alex Rins. I tell you what, he's useless, isn't he?
Well, he's been coming good as well recently.
Exactly.
So it's such a hard challenge, but, you know, it's going to give him a really good feel, a good experience on the bike, and you never know where it could lead in the future. And that's, you know, it's good that they've got him that can stand in for Mark to, you know, to cover these stories.
Yeah, it is, because they didn't want to have
Piro.
Haley.
Yeah, I forgot his name then. Yeah, Piro again. Obviously, Piro's 39 years old now, and obviously he's been an incredible test rider, but he's not quite up to that pace.
He's quick, but probably Misano, Mugello, he's a little bit quicker. But then on those other tracks, he's got less experience, and yeah, it's a little bit. It's a complete different optics. You give there a chance, a real chance. For a young talent that eventually you would be moving into MotoGP. I mean, the plan for Nicolo Bulega really is to win the World Superbike Championship next year, and then move up. You know, he's a talented rider. They know it. His riding style as well. I'm going to repeat myself there. His riding style should really translate well for a MotoGP bike. So I think they got good hope and really high hopes for that lad.
I have a question though. Just before, I mean, they've done like 2 flying laps now. At the end of this
Yellow
session,
sector
how far off
one,
is it?
yellow sector
Let's have a
one.
quick- in your head now, what's going to be off?
I think if he's within 3 seconds, it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm going to say 2.5. If he's inside 2.5, I think that's really good in his very first session.
Yeah.
And why I'm saying 2.5 is because he's on a Ducati, he's on the best bike, ish, in theory.
Yeah, well,
Or there's a big
3.5,
crash there.
isn't it? It's about 3.5.
Oh, hello, hit the barrier as well. I wonder if that might. It's Paul Espargaro.
Actually, it's more.
So Paul's crashed there. That's a funny place to crash. I'm trying to work out where he's crashed. Has he crashed?
Turn
Turn 2.
On the King.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Two.
King. On the King.
Well, if he's-
Yeah, he's crashed on the King there. So he's crashed just as he touched
Didn't
the
act-
brake.
is it-
or-
Yeah, and it didn't actually hit the barrier either, so we should be all right.
Yeah. Clip the curb on the inside or the initial grab of the brake. I'll tell you what, that's one of them face plant crashes. That's just
Yeah.
horrible, isn't it?
Went a long way as well, so he crashed very early on there.
It's the type that hits you down on the deck and you don't know if you've been woken up or not.
Yeah, so pole down, pole in for Maverick Vinales once again. Obviously, he's recovering from that shoulder injury.
So many injuries, isn't it? Really?
It's that. The question is, are there too many races with the
Possibly.
doubles? Because you've got the sprints as well. We've got
Yes.
2 of our world champions aren't here. There are so many riders that are out injured and recovering. And with that in mind, let me just start with the excellent news that I did talk about just before the break. Following that horrific sighting lap crash between the 2 young Moto3 riders, Noah Detweiler and Jose Antonio Rueda. Following what was a critical situation on track, it's great to report that Noah was well enough to travel back to Switzerland. Should have arrived late last night, where he will be having surgery on his leg. And Jose Antonio Rueda, he's had a complicated operation already on his hand, and he's going to be recovering now for the next season. And it's a massive relief, I think, to see those updates. We all wish them the very best with their rehabilitation journey for next season. It has thrown up quite a few questions. The incident, how it was handled, etc. And the riders have been quite vocal about that. So first and foremost, I think the information flow that was received at the time, the clarity of that information has been questioned by the riders. Also, whether the race should have been run. Certainly, Pedro Acosta felt that it shouldn't have been run, and Pecco Bagnaia echoed his sentiment as well, saying that they're just really young kids, and we didn't know what the situation was with the 2 young riders, and it was obviously critical. That's been a source of news. And then warm-ups for Moto2 and Moto3 obviously were taken away, and should they be reintroduced? So what are your feelings on those questions?
Thoughts on, just to go through it really quickly, the way the information was relayed to us as obviously the broadcasters, that was poor. We got the wrong information, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was complicated because I think Dr. Chart was he targeted some Spanish journalists to give them some information, and Noah's team didn't want any information given. It feels like all that needs to be completely reassessed on how that happens, and so the clarity is 100%, because you end up with Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and we obviously weren't broadcasting those.
Yeah.
We were waiting for full information, so...
Yeah,
we
I
did
thought,
the right
I
job.
thought that obviously that needs addressing. Definitely. I mean, Susie, we were stood in the shade at the back of the pit lane, presenting for an hour and a half, and we felt exhausted after that, just standing in the heat. The young riders were hanging around. It dragged on and dragged on and dragged on, and then we're then told, and they definitely, no one knew the state of both riders, and we didn't know if we'd lost a rider or both riders. We genuinely didn't. We'd heard again mixed information.
messages, yeah.
And then to make those young kids go out and perform, I thought that was appalling. That was a mistake. And I'm sure in hindsight they'll look back and I think what always happens, we do learn, don't we? The paddock does learn, and I think that shouldn't happen again.
It'll be interesting to see the reaction, but moving it forward in terms of reacting to a situation and trying to make something good come out of it. What about warm-ups for Moto3, Moto2, Moto3? Do you think they should be reintroduced? And if so, how? I mean, obviously accidents can happen at any time, but how could they reduce the possibility of what happened on Sunday happening?
Yeah, accidents can happen on warm-up as well. I mean, we at the time, I mean, the biggest thing when the warm-ups were taken out, the big worry was that, you know, if you crash on your last qualifying, for example, on the Saturday, you got no chance to try that your bike is working properly until the race, until your grid lap. So that could cause some problem. That said, we know exactly what happened with the bike, you know, why he was cruising. I don't know if he had a problem or if he's just cruising.
I think he did have a technical. Yeah, but I don't know.
He had a technical in the ad lap. Okay, so yeah, and I mean, the thing is, you can have that kind of technical. You can have that in a warm-up.
That's what I thought.
So,
it made no
But
difference.
if you have it, perhaps if you have it in the warm-up, it can be addressed, and it's not the whole paddock in going out on one lap.
I think this was just an unfortunate incident where he must have had some kind of issue at the very wrong time, because otherwise he would have pulled in the inside of the track, and he was sort of on the curb on the outside, which is actually on the racing line, and Rueda was
Well, it was the speed difference between the two.
Yeah, the
wasn't
speed
it?
difference. He didn't see it coming at all, and he didn't have time to react. So, yeah, it was a very unfortunate incident.
But I suppose if you haven't touched the bike since the day before, if there's an issue with that bike that morning and you've got a level of warm-up, however long, you know, it is, at least you can address that situation. I suppose that's the argument for this.
Yeah, I think in general everyone's in favour of giving all the classes a 10-minute warm-up. It does make sense.
I agree.
But then the counter-argument is that in the last time that all the Moto3 and Moto2 riders had a warm-up, there were a total of 60 crashes in those warm-ups. So the warm-up's not a risk-free little free session. Riders push hard because they're trying your final, let's say, adjustments. And then, essentially, after those 60 crashes, you are then going to start your sighting lap on a bike you've not tested because it's been crashed, so the first time. So
it's not black and white.
It's not black and white,
No.
but I still think, of course, there should be a little 10-minute warm-up for the riders, just for the riders to
to feel the conditions of the day
exactly,
as well, maybe.
Exactly. As an ex-racer, I would have hated them to take away that little bit of track time.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the reaction on that. Let's just go away from this session for a moment. Gav is down at the final turn. What are you looking at, Gav?
Well, over the weekend, I reckon our viewers are going to be able to play a bit of commentary bingo, because we will, across all of us, be calling it the Big Dipper, a motocross track, maybe even a roller coaster. They will all be trawled out, I'm sure, those cliches over the weekend, but nowhere more evident than this final corner. You might have just seen Fabio Quartararo come out of turn 14. It's a little flat bit, tiny, it's not much of it. And you see they're on full lean, actually, as they dip down here through the final corner, through turn 15. It drops so significantly. Hopefully you can see from this camera on the outside of the racetrack just how dramatic that drop is from that final corner. And when they come down there are a couple of bumps in there, then it kind of bottoms out. You can see actually on the outside of the racetrack a few of the black lines from some of the fast old crashes that we've had here over the years. I remember actually in Superbike, Johnny Ray had one here in particular. And then this roller coaster effect, this up and down effect, isn't quite finished yet, because once you get down to that bottoming out that you've got there, that effect you are then having to get hard on the throttle because it's a kilometre-long straight. You've got to carry all that speed along. And then actually when you get up to the straight, you go up another rise. You're fighting the front of your bike, first of all, to not wheelie over the crest. And if you could just see as they hit that little rise up onto the only flat bit on the circuit, you're fighting the bike again to stop it from wheeling across the line as you go. It's a brilliant, beautiful racetrack that they built here in Portimao. We've been loving it since we came here, first of all, in 2020, and it's all these undulations that make it. Nowhere more evident it is than this final corner here at the circuit. It is fun to watch. I'm going to watch the rest of FP1 from down here, I think.
Yeah, that's fine, Gav. You just stay out there and have fun. We'll just, you know, do all the work, no problem at all. But Gav's right, it is such an incredible circuit to watch, and we definitely will be rolling out some of those roller coaster motocross.
Yeah, but so will Gav.
So he
basically tried to get him in first, didn't he? All the cliche sort of comments about this track.
He started the old bingo card going, but yeah, you know, this man has been great here, hasn't he, over the years? Fabio Quartararo, a couple of victories in 21 and 22 as well, actually, and it's been a good track for Pecco Bagnaia, and obviously last year it was Jorge Martin who won. But he's not here this year. But Pecco Bagnaia, which Pecco are we getting this weekend?
Well, if you look at it, Pecco's in 16th and Booligas is in 17th. I mean, you can't make it up as it stands. So
Booligas 4/10 behind Pecco.
Yeah.
I mean, that is who you should compare him to, really. In a way, you should be compared to your teammate. But with what's gone on with Pecco this year, actually, Nico Booliga could come out shining this weekend.
Can you help us, Neil, a little bit as well? Because I was watching at home doing all those races.
When you set your alarm.
Oh, no, here we go.
I set my alarm.
Where's this going?
And I was seeing Pecco up and down, and obviously doing what he did in Motegi, and then being last at the and he actually crashed, didn't he? Out of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Out of last. Why?
Well, Sylvain,
please enlighten me.
We've been asking this question. And we all said, hey, the good news is Sylvain's coming back to Portimao, so we could ask him the question, because he's the guy who rides these bikes. He's got all the information. So, Sylvain, what's going on?
Well, I mean, if I'd been there, I would have tried and dig the information out of somewhere. You know, go into the try and be a little spy inside the Ducati box.
Hey,
or something.
we tried, didn't we, Susie?
I bet you did, yeah.
We've tried everything.
It's a tough one to crack that.
It's a head scratcher, as they say.
I've never seen anything like it.
No, that's genuinely. That's
what we said. That's the conclusion we came to.
There was one case of it, Maverick Vinales on the factory
Yamaha, yeah.
when he was dead last in Sachsenring.
Yeah,
and then the race after in Assen topped all the sessions.
And do you remember he finished second in the race and didn't smile?
No.
On the podium, it was
he got beaten by his teammate.
Quartararo.
Yeah.
But I think that he was inherently unhappy at the time, and there was a lot going on in his head, which I think was what it was put down to. Whereas with Pecco, you can't go out and be top of a session and then be last in another session. That's not a confidence thing, because once your confidence is smashed, you're smashed.
And also, you got the images, the bike physically that is moving.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we
Neil
saw that
knows,
categorically, didn't we? We saw the
Neil
movement.
knows about the moving the bike, because that's what he does in his on-board lap. Don't you, Neil?
Sylvain, I can't help it when I do my...
Can you two stop brake testing each other?
On my on-board lap, that the bike moves around a lot. I'm on the limit, mate.
Sure does. Moves a lot.
Moves a lot.
It's on the limit.
Sylvain's always taken the mick out of me and just loved it. But on my on-board lap when the bike's moving, it's like, the bike's only moving because you're making it move. To which I go, yeah, I know. And we reckon that's what Pecco was doing a little bit, just to make his point to the team.
It's easy to do, though.
It is really easy to make the bike move.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that bike was really moving.
Hey, I'm doing my lap in about an hour. I'll show you a bike that's really moving and going slow.
So we haven't answered any of those questions.
Because we still don't know.
We don't know, that's
and
why.
that is, we honestly, but Ducati don't know.
We do know that 2025 Ducati's had its issues, and Digi has also, had problems with that factory bike.
You has been up and down. It's only Mark really that's been able to constantly.
And he's done that with
in front.
every single bike he's ever ridden. He can flatter any bike, and it doesn't give you any answers because Mark can get around any problem. He's just an alien like that.
So should we just discard then?
Discard Mark
Completely, yeah.
You have to.
We've
You
said
have
that
to,
before.
really, in order to try to answer the questions. You go back to Cal talking about Mark on the Honda, saying it's all right looking at his data, but nobody can do that. So it's almost irrelevant to look at the data. And it's the same on the Ducati. It's been the same throughout his entire career. So this man still has to lead the way. And at the moment, he's rudderless.
I love that when Carl. When was that? It was a couple of years ago when Carl said, if you put Marquez on a Ducati, they are not going to see him ever.
I can hear him saying
it as well.
I can see, because Callum,
it's so true.
He will absolutely destroy him.
And he's right.
Well, I'm just looking at the championship points. No one's, I mean, obviously, Mark's going to miss the last 4 races. He actually obviously didn't finish Indonesia, so last 5 races. And he's still going to win this championship by over 100 points. You know, like, it's 100 points clear. Like, yeah.
I mean, the man is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
But it does muddy the water for everybody else in terms of what Ducati are looking at. And it was the same for Honda.
Yes, it's a tough one. Well, clearly, the good news for Ducati is that they have a very, very strong 2024 package. You know, when you see what Alex Marquez has been able to do with Terminal de Gea as a rookie as well, how impressive.
Gresini have been on fire this year, haven't they?
Yeah, for private
They've
team.
done so brilliantly.
Got to say, with the rules, with the way it works with MotoGP at the moment, with the access for to the correct material, to the correct technicians, and to competitive packages for the private teams, is just brilliant to see. We used to have the factory bikes, and I remember it, like, you know, back in the 250 days, you have the factory bikes, and if you're on the private bikes, you just knew, you started the weekend, you knew you're going to be a second, 2 seconds down, and there was nothing you could do about it. Maybe hope for rain, and that could maybe do something a little bit better.
Looking
but
for a leveler, really, weren't you?
Yeah, now the private teams, they have a package that, you know, is the same, or certain tracks can even be a little bit better because they have more data with the year-old bike that they're running. So this is brilliant, and this is why we're seeing these teams doing well. So yeah, Gresini, how good what they're doing, and for a few years now, it's great to see.
Just to let you know, it's raining a little bit. Gavin has just walked into our box and says, yeah, there's a few drops of rain coming down. So.
And Davide Tardozzi is in Bulliger's side of the garage, giving him the international sign language of slow down, like step by step, it's all right.
It's interesting what you were saying there, Sylvain, though, about the satellite teams, because I did do this big sit down with Hervé yesterday. Obviously, he's sold the Tech 3 team and he's leaving at the end of this season, and there's an outpouring of grief from lots of fans when I posted a picture yesterday of me and Hervé. And, you know, he was talking very much, obviously, he's been in this paddock for nearly 40 years, 30 years with 25 years with Tech 3. And no, 35 years with Tech 3, sorry, since 1990, obviously down in the 250s then, and had that fantastic success with Olivier Jacques, and he's loved promoting the rest of the world riders. You know, he's been in there with the French riders, with the Portuguese, with Miguel, with the Brits, with the Americans. He's very much given everybody else a chance, and it's a fantastic story. He's been such a brilliant ambassador for this sport, and will continue to be. But the closeness of the factory team to the satellite team now, I mean, we were standing in Gresini doing an interview a couple of weeks ago in Malaysia, and the 4 top head honchos came in from Ducati, you know, GG, and they all came in, and I said, oh, does this happen often? He said, after every session they come in and talk to us and we go through everything. Well, that didn't used to happen.
No, it didn't used to happen at all. So yeah, and for the teams,
these two, for example, are in there with Gigi.
Here we go, look.
Oh yeah, he's having the chat, yeah. You're doing good, yeah.
Get ready for the old, get ready.
Slide back, yeah.
Because you don't want him to face plan, to be honest. You know, like, because he's still figuring it out. Obviously, he's gone quick straight away.
Less than 2 seconds off.
Straight away is incredible,
Not
isn't
bad.
it?
not bad at all.
Like what we're talking about, Susie, right? So the bike's going to feel so different. The chassis is going to feel much stiffer. The tyres are going to feel stiffer, give less feedback. You've got much more power. You've got the ride-out device to figure out, to be pressing that, when to press it, what that then feels like in the braking zones. There's so much going on. You've got all that aero. You've got a top speed that he'll have never experienced before. It's so much faster than they've gone on a superbike. So it's, yes, he knows the track. That's it. So, I mean, what a great start he's had.
Well, he's doing brilliantly. He's matching his teammate. That's all you can ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's won twice around this circuit. On his shaky Ducati that wasn't shaky then.
Yeah, that's a good start. That very impressive, Bulega. Now is the time, because at 1.9 you're not far away, so that's where it becomes easy to make a mistake and at some point just get a little bit surprised by that package that he doesn't know yet. So yeah, Davide there just trying to calm him a little bit. On one hand, if you're a rider like Bulega, you come back in the pits and you can see your teammates just in front and you're 1.9 off, so you must be thinking, right, I've got a bit of margin there, I can be in front of Pecco, let's try and do that. And you don't want to have a big crash at the end of that first session. You want to finish it with good feelings, with good feedback and good confidence that you can take into the afternoon session. So, yeah.
I tell you what he is, Susie. I've watched him all year in superbikes. He's an immaculate rider. He's so smooth.
Super smooth, super clean.
And immaculate, isn't he? If you think about you watch him ride, just doesn't make many mistakes, doesn't crash a lot, obviously got a lot of feel. I remember those opening races of the year when he dominated quite early on, when he destroyed Top Rack at some of the first races. And every time he showed him, especially thinking of Phillip Island especially, I'm like, has he got a problem?
Is it an in-lap?
And
it was that bad. It looked so good.
Exactly that. I remember being so shocked. Everyone looked like they were going fast, and then he was 5 seconds up the road, and then it'd show him. I'm like, oh, he's got a problem. But yeah, he was just carrying corner speed, smooth. Definitely a talented rider.
Pedro Acosta couldn't be more desperate for a victory. Some news coming out of KTM this week, probably just worth mentioning. That story, KTM hit with more financial problems. I mean, we did hear a lot of this at the start of the year, but Bajaj Auto, they've revealed plans to cut the workforce by over 50% across several areas of KTM, including the motorsport area, as it inches closer to completing a takeover to the Austrian manufacturer. And these are tough times, really, aren't they?
It was a damning report. If you read it all,
there was a massive cut.
There was some harsh words.
Well, and I think relating to this particularly, he said in an interview, the managing director, Rajiv Bajaj, he said that they intend to halve expenses across various departments in a move that will directly affect KTM and Tech3's MotoGP teams, which they can't afford that.
That's R&D budgets and marketing budgets. So this is potentially this is very bad news, and we're gonna have to follow that closely, because
it's another reason for Pedro's manager as well to be chatting to all
Yellow
of the
flag
other
sent to one.
factories, which we know he is.
Yeah, you would be.
You've got to, haven't you, with 2027 coming, and
yeah, you've got to go. If you Pedro, I'd go early.
I think it's
Absolutely.
Raul Fernandez.
because
He's down
Fabio's
there.
also looking at the same situation. And those are your two gems, really, that
So right.
are aching to get out there.
Yeah, it
I
is
don't
Raul.
good.
Raul's gone down.
Oh no.
is it just the airbag?
Yeah, it's just the airbag. I thought that was like a collarbone sort of walk. You know, when someone's done a shoulder or
No,
a
I think
collarbone.
that still doesn't look too good. Doesn't look comfortable there.
It's not
Fingers
holding
crossed.
his
I mean, the airbag
elbow.
does make you feel like you can't move at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a big one into the air fence. I wonder if they might just red flag this one.
Turn one.
But I did pop the air fence, I think, so we might get a red flag here.
Yeah.
Like, to hit the barrier there at turn one, I'm trying to work out what he's done there.
It looks a little bit dazed.
He looks a bit bemused, yeah. Maybe he's banged his head there.
Yeah.
Needs to be checked for that.
what he's done there then. Lost it on the brakes early.
Lose the front early before the apex, where you still have not shred too much speed, but very early.
That could be a few that's because of the spots of rain, potentially.
Yeah, the sky looks heavy, doesn't it? And there was definitely a few spots earlier. Gavin came in and said it was...
It was forecast rain for a bit later today, but...
Here he is. Wincy's back. The old forecaster.
We missed
you.
Hey, look, I was back.
Yeah, the app is back. We've talked about you pretty much every race weekend you've not been here, saying, well, we don't know what the weather's going to do because our man's not here.
I was just monitoring the UK weather.
Okay.
While at home.
What's this track like when it rains? I mean, with the nature of this track.
It's good, actually. The grip is quite good. I used to enjoy... I remember racing here in the wet one year in World Superbikes. It was brilliant. Except the crash in the last turn. That was not so brilliant.
They're never brilliant, those, are they? I'm a bit surprised that Miguel Oliveira's finding himself sitting in 21st, because Jack's just sitting outside the top 10. I would have thought that this... Because Miguel, you know, we've seen a bit more from Miguel recently, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? You'd think he'd be proper fired up coming here. To be circulating over 2 seconds off the pace seems a bit bemusing.
He's always been a bit special around here as well.
Yeah, he's been able to unlock the secrets of this superb circuit.
Yeah.
Such a shame we're losing our only Portuguese rider.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a shame as well. We want as many different nationalities in that championship, don't we?
At least we are gaining a Turkish rider and a Brazilian, so it's not. At least it's not two more Spanish or a Spanish and Italian.
True, but it would be nice to have had them and
absolutely,
you know, Toprak and Diogo. But Toprak starts his new MotoGP career pretty soon now, and obviously on the Monday after Valencia. But he's also got a private Yamaha test at Aragon on Sunday and Monday, which be fascinating.
This Sunday and Monday?
Yeah. I believe so,
yeah. I'd heard there was a test at some point. I didn't know it was so early. Oh, that's going to be good.
So those will be his first laps, really, since 2023, weren't they, on a MotoGP bike?
They really did, yeah.
Yeah, he had a couple of tests then, and in Aragon, actually. Aragon, they did Jerez as well.
Yeah.
And so it's not an unknown for him, the MotoGP package. Well, it's good that he can. It's good of BMW as well, of allowing him to
I was thinking that.
test that, because he's the world champion. You know?
Yeah, because they can lock it down, can't they? And say you can't test till January the 1st, or you know, whatever the contract is.
So that's fair play, because nobody wants to see that really, but they could have done that. I think they're probably not gonna let him make any commands or anything like that, which you would. He's a world champion for BMW.
Look what he's done for them.
So yeah, they'll still want to use stuff right for the motor shows, and you know they won the title, so they need to use it for their marketing. But on a sporting point of view, I thought that's pretty fair.
Yeah, Ralph Fernandez, they're going to the medical centre, and they'll have a look at him and see if he's okay, and also, you know, check his eyes and everything, because he did look a little bit dazed, didn't he?
He looked like he was a bit lost, but the airbag does make you feel. It was funny. A little story there with Neil. We were at RST or leathers providers early on in the week, filming a few videos, and one of it was, so we had a challenge. Whoever lost the challenge, you had to do the airbag deploy. So you put the suit on, and the other one deployed the airbag on you. And I can tell you, it's a massive shock.
Well, I can tell you, if you've got a pair of boobs, it's even bigger shock, because it hurts more.
I can imagine that.
Well, you probably can't.
What?
I had the airbag go off
me
on the Alpine Star suit.
Is this going out live?
No, but remember when we did that?
Rain flag,
We did the science of a crash, and we did about Marc Marquez's crash in Indonesia, and I went to Alpine Stars, and we talked about all the technical side of the suits and everything, and they deployed my air suit, and I tell you what, it was
on
really
your airbags.
It was so it was really painful, and I gave them some feedback, and I said, look, you know, for women that are racing, you need a little bit more space here.
Yeah.
See,
interesting.
I know. Well, anyway, that sort of diverted the conversation.
What was good about doing it with Sylvan is I had the power.
Yeah.
it just felt nice because I had literally the button in my
He
hand.
had the button.
And he was looking at me petrified. and I was supposed to do it like now, and I just kept waiting. And then it was the anticipation. And then I pretended to press it. Oh, it was superb.
When it does go off, though, wow.
Yeah.
It's
Like a punch.
Because
Yeah.
when you're racing, obviously you don't, because you've got adrenaline, you're not concentrating, you concentrate on what you're doing.
Nowhere
You
near
don't
as much.
feel it, do you? It's just saving you, and they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. But when you're just standing there, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was incredible though, we did it, and then Sylvain, it was that loud in the bang, he started crying. It just scared him that much. I mean, he's pretty tough, he's Sylvain. I thought it'd be all right, but and that was the end of it, really. It weren't that much fun then, was it? You know, after you went home.
You enjoyed your little button there.
Oh, the
you were
power.
controlling,
I
didn't
am
you?
The power of the
Loved
button.
Let's have a look at this session. Alex Marquez has been at the top for most of the session, really, and what great form he's in.
Alex is,
Yeah.
superb, secured second in the championship.
You drifted off there.
Sorry,
I can't imagine what you were thinking about.
No comment. So Alex, I mean, you've watched him in Malaysia just control that race. It was impressive, wasn't it? I mean, it's a track he's always gone well at. He goes well here as well, I've got to say, does Alex Marquez. So, secured second in the championship. So impressive. What an achievement for that family. Just incredible.
Is it the first time? It must be the first
Yeah,
time.
it is.
Brothers, yeah.
Brothers winning 1 and 2 in the championship.
Because, we talked about this at the start of the season in Thailand when it was 1-2. Everybody was a bit like, oh, this is novel, it's probably not going to carry on, but this isn't.
Yeah, and we're just going to try something right now by swapping over the streams. Yeah, and we're just going to try something right now by swapping over the streams. If I'm not very much mistaken. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on a JB Motorsports broadcast, we welcome you to Rider Tracker. MotoGP have finally listened to us. We've been asking for this for literally about 7-8 years since they took it away. Rider Tracker is back, everybody. Live positions of where they are on the circuit. As Alex Rins does a 1:42.72, we'll head back to TNT.
Mike. And in motocross, you've got the Lawrence brothers, 2 Australian brothers, Jet and Hunter Lawrence. They race in the American Championship, but they are they won the Motocross of Nations. They are so fast and so talented. And if you watch Jet Lawrence, he's like the fastest motocross rider that's ever been. If you watch him ride, he's moved the game on. A little bit like Mark Marquez has in ours. Whoa!
Oh, hello.
Do you see that? He came out the last corner, come over the crest, and it's like he got it started with a little wheelie and he nearly flipped it.
It went,
He nearly
whoa.
did a Max Biaggi.
Yeah.
That was unreal. That's made everyone laugh because that was like, what a scary moment. That's probably with all the wings and everything.
That was
It's like
close.
it's
Get
literally.
over a certain point,
Yeah.
and he just takes off.
I'll have to see that again.
And talking about brothers, all we need now is Sam and Alex to get their finger out.
Pull the finger out. What
Yeah.
are they messing around at?
I know.
I mean, it's easy. Just
Just
one
do
and two.
it.
It's because
Just
they're not
do it.
called Jet or Hunter.
Yeah, Jet
They
and
sound
Hunter.
like gladiators,
Yeah,
don't
they do. Yeah, Sam and Alex.
Sam and Alex, Mark and Alex, Jet
Yeah.
and Hunter.
See Sam and Alex on the podium next year. That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, they could finish top 3 in the world easily.
They got a
They
chance.
could. With Top Rack out, it really opens up the championship in World Superbikes as I see it. Obviously,
Yeah.
this man's going to start as favourite, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But then you got Alex. He's finished the season really strong. You gotta say on the
Really strong.
The
On the
motor, yeah.
motor, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and,
Very impressive.
and Sam was strong in the midpoint of the season, just had a bit of bad luck at the end with an injury. So
Yeah.
here we go.
What was it? Was it broken ribs?
Look at this.
I'm
this
not
is
sure.
great.
Look at this for a lap.
It's
This is
fantastic.
Bulliger looking
Bulliger.
fantastic.
He's about to go in front of his teammate.
Looks like he's still on a used
Rear, yeah, because it's
medium.
marked up.
Yeah. 1.5 off.
He's basically done the same lap time as his teammate there.
That's very impressive, isn't it? I'll tell you who else is impressive. Luca Marini's been incredibly impressive over the last few weeks as well. You kind of missed out on this, Sylvain, the rise and rise of Luca Marini.
No, I was so disappointed that he got his first crash as well. It wasn't really a proper crash though.
No.
It was a bit of a
Collision.
But I really was hoping he was going to get the zero crash up at all to the end of the season. But he has been impressive. Marini, really, like, for me, the surprise, because we weren't expecting him, and he took his time on the Honda when he was not feeling, 100% confident. He was really concentrated on trying to improve the package, give the right feedback, but he's also performing. And yeah, it's been really impressive lately.
Just popped himself up to third. He's pretty good on the old karaoke as well.
Is he?
Luca Marini, yeah. Yep.
Wow. He's got a bit of a boy band look as well.
Lovely man he is, Luca Marini.
Yeah.
Absolutely adorable, he really is. I'll tell you, he's going well in this session. Every time, Fabio Quartararo, every time I go, obviously they're all on the reds now coming out. But Zoran Zarco, your buddy, your compatriot, is
been
looking...
off form.
Yeah.
Since Sylvain's not been at the race.
And now he's back.
Yeah, it's because he knows I'm back.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a connection. No, I heard that Johan was saying, so obviously there was this, he started to go off pace a little bit. The factory boys had the new frame and they didn't give it to him. And I think that upsets him a little bit. And then there was new parts that they weren't able to try. And so it's taken a little bit of time for him to put it all together and just come back on just riding the thing. I think he's going to put it back together before the end of the season, because he has been the leader, and he's still the first Honda in the championship, isn't he? They caught him back a bit.
Yeah.
Marini's not far behind now, but he's been leading the Honda effort all the first half of season anyway. So
yeah, he sits 11th in the championship, and obviously you can't mention Johan Zarco without that fairy tale victory this year in Le Mans. I mean, that was absolutely sensational.
I can't believe that actually happened. Can you believe that happened?
Dream. It
was like a dream. Like the record crowd.
Magnifique.
Everything about it was just crazy, wasn't it? The crowd, the atmosphere, obviously the race itself.
The choice that he made.
Yeah, the risk that he took, the fact that he ended up nearly last coming out of that first section because of the choice that he'd made, and he
didn't engage.
Mia crashed in front of him.
He didn't engage the ride height as well.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to have a safe start, basically. Le Mans is one of those tracks where the ride height is engaged at the start. It's very, very sketchy. So he made it all work, but it was a crazy race.
And he bought himself another contract.
Yeah.
His
mum and dad were there as well. That was the first time a mum came.
Yeah, how weird's that? The first time
the mum came to a race,
Yeah, complicated relationships sometimes, aren't they?
Buliga, 17th, 1.2 seconds off.
Excellent.
And in front of Bastianini, Bagnaia, Chantra, Oliveira, Savadori.
That is very impressive. He's done 20 laps in Jerez in mixed conditions.
Yeah.
Wow. At a level in World Superbike's not that bad, is it?
No, which we knew. We've said that, and that's why we're excited about Top Rack. What we all said. Has anyone said, Top Rack's going to do nothing?
Well, there will be some weird journalists that will have said something like that just for the clicks, but clearly that's nonsense.
No, Top Rack's a special talent. But Buliga was pushing him.
Yeah.
To the last race of the year. Look, the right man won, as in you watched Top Rack do incredible things.
The Top Rack just looked on that BMW. It just looked like a super talent.
Yeah.
Didn't it? It just looked like he was making magic happen. And well, actually, from looking at his data, he does.
Yeah, which you've been able to do.
Yeah.
Which I know, obviously, his teammate Michael van der Mark said literally exactly the same as what you've said. Going,
Would you say I look at it? Yeah, I can see it. I can see what he's doing, but I can't do it.
I love it when a special rider comes along. That makes the difference.
Yeah.
We could have a 1-2 Yamaha here. Just for a screenshot.
Yeah.
Or not.
Is it on used tyres or not? It's confusing sometimes, those graphics, because on the graphic we've got there, it looks like he's got a new medium front and a used medium rear, but then on the other graphics that we've got on our other page, it's different. So we don't quite know what he's got on. He's going fast.
In any case, Jack Miller's making that Yamaha work round here.
Which doesn't surprise me when I think of this track. If any track's going to suit Jack Miller's riding style, the sort of motocross rider that Jack is an incredible motocross rider, and it is literally like you're on a motocross track around here.
I'd like to know, because they measured that jump they did, you know, after turn 8.
Yeah.
After the flag, obviously, it was 20 meters something. But Top Track did a good one as well. I wonder who's got the longest one.
Did you see that one that I did?
No.
Was
3 meters?
Was that measured in millimetres?
Did you get the rear wheel?
Why are you being so rude? Why is everybody... Are we at that point in the season where we're just going to be just rude live on air?
No, we've been
really
like it all season.
Have you done like a,
We started in
have you not been
Thailand.
listening?
Probably not, have you?
have you done like an AI thing where
Is
you,
it? Look, I'm not 12.
where you land in turn 10?
I'm not 12.
I know he's done something weird.
I'm going to show you this picture, Sylvan. I know this is not good for commentary, but bear with me.
I feel like the Aprilias are struggling a bit here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, well, they struggled a bit in Sepang, which was
Yeah, we
weird.
did, yeah. What's going on then? That's a question for you to answer, if you're interested. So.
Well, I think Aprilia are struggling because of how it is out there on the circuit. I think 9 times out of 10 we'll see the difference between them as they come through. We're now just testing if the rider tracker works with our cameras live on air. So, checker flag comes out. Alex Marquez currently the fastest on a 1:39.145. Jack Miller second 1:39.378. Zarco looking stronger. I think also this is the first time we've had a rider tracker for MotoGP, and of course, if you know us, our systems are set up for a different version of this broadcast, so it's all slightly different how it's going to work, and we'll have to now create a new camera for when I'm not here and I'm elsewhere broadcasting. So Megan's going to have a bit of fun with that one to get into the systems. Quartararo still on top. Alex Marquez though fastest, 1:39.145. Jack Miller second, Zarco third, Morbidelli fourth, Marini fifth, Bezzecchi sixth, Aldeguer seventh, and Aldeguer now moves up. Costa goes in seventh place. So they've changed times again a little bit out there at the front. But yeah, let us know how this rider tracker looks. You can see obviously Ralph Fernandez has stopped on the circuit. Aldeguer is still down there elsewhere. I think we've done our best to try and filter it in as much as we possibly can, as this is brand new technology we are dealing with. As Polisvago 1:39.506 goes over the board with a bit more of an interesting time to attend with. 39.671, so definitely up there. And a yellow flag now in sector 2. Who's that? Pedro Costa. Looks like he's stationary on our tracker. See if that is the case. Also, this now tells us exactly where the issue is out there on the track. So if we do have a further issue, it can tell us. I think it's just the practice starts at the back of the track, though, as we're looking into it. Yeah, because everyone else is doing their practice starts further back as well. Still, Marco Bezzecchi coming for the last couple of corners now as well, looking strong. So far, so good then on the overall Delta time. There's that yellow flag still out there. Let's head down then and join the TNT team.
Speechless.
Well, let's enjoy that for a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Swipe number 3.
I think you're out, actually. Alex Marquez, faultless in this session. Alex Marquez
has dominated the session, Susie. In fact, I'd go as far as to say he was faultless.
Let's see the jump.
In this session.
Let's see the jump.
Get ready for a little jump here.
Oh, Jack jump.
It looked rubbish.
Hey.
Oh, no.
See, it looked rubbish at that speed, but then they'll do a super slow-mo and it looked really impressive.
Yeah, no, but that's nowhere near 20 meters.
I got way higher.
Yours was like, you're flying.
Yeah, but what you do, Sylvan,
How'd you do it?
you sort of square the corner off, and then I got over with much more speed. See, watch it now in slow-mo.
So what would you have done different there?
See, he's only in second gear there. I do it in fifth. and a bit of clutch. Yeah, this is where like the super slow-mo makes it look so much better. Yeah.
No, still, that's not his best attempt.
I'd be disappointed if that was it.
He can do better.
But he won't be disappointed with his positioning in this session.
No, that's one of the better sessions.
Yeah, he's been bang up there as well, hasn't he? He's looked really good.
Bang up there.
Day.
Just a couple of tenths off.
It's not the middle of the night.
Anymore.
Can I warn you?
Okay.
There may be people listening. Yeah, well done, Alex Marquez. And Marco Kozecki up to second. Jack Miller was third. Sharon Zarco ended up fourth. Paul Espargaro, despite that crash, Paul had a good comeback and actually first of the KTMs.
And the good news now is you're going to come in and go straight out for the practice start, Silva. Which I know you've missed that.
I tell you, I like that. Lega, he's going to enjoy himself there, having a few starts with the radar devices.
Yeah.
He must be feeling on top of the world after that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like you cannot believe. Because he'll have been so nervous. Of course he will. He's, what is he, 25 years old? There's a lot of pressure on him for an Italian to be in the factory Ducati team, replacing Marc Marquez. I mean, like we've said, having done 20, 30 laps on a damp track, he'll have been so nervous, so he'll feel cock-a-hoop now.
Who wants to ask Davide Tardozzi the question about how Nico Bulega can come in and be quicker than Pecco Bagnaia this weekend?
Yeah, well, he's got to be asked.
Yeah, well,
see what he thinks of it, and
Okay, you can have that one.
yeah. I mean,
okay, Sylvan's volunteered. Fair play.
Yeah, there he is. Our buddy, Davide.
it's not a trick question. It's if anything, it's
None of them are trick questions.
No,
Davide knows that we don't know.
I mean, it's a fair question. You know, highlighting, you know, how good Bulega is doing. Well, we'll see. I mean, this is just the first session, but straight away out the box like that, not making any mistakes. That's really impressive. Yeah.
Very cool. Fermin Aldeguer has been really impressive this year.
Yeah.
Obviously the rookie of the year, but more than that, you know,
There's a bit of rain, though.
he's won a
See
race.
the rain on the screen.
Yep.
Quite a bit.
It's coming down, isn't it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you made of Fermin's progress this year and taking that victory as a rookie? Incredible.
Yeah, and it was not by
And it was
just a
easy
bit.
as well. He did it with the hand tied behind his back.
Outlast everybody there. He was unreal in Indonesia. He was surprising, actually. And it looked like he was able to unlock some of the tyre's potential, that special, you know, rear tire that Michelin brings in Indonesia. He looked like he was able to use it in a much better way than everybody else. He had an extra speed. Yeah, great. But not just that. Overall, as a rookie, him and again Frankie Carchetti, you know, helping his riders to perform. So yeah, he's one to, and I love the way he battles as well. He does not give an inch. Love that.
And he complained actually that he didn't have anyone to battle with, and that he would have preferred to have had somebody up. He was a bit bored at the front. Yeah.
I tell you, it was quite interesting actually. Steve Davis just sent me a text to remind me, and he says, just look at what Bulega did here in World Superbikes. He qualified second and did a 39.3, which would have put him second in this session. And actually, I know they have softer tyres in qualifying, so you're like, that's not, you can't really go off that. But in the Super Bowl race, the short distance race, he did a 39.6, which is faster than what he's just done in that session. So
I think here in Portimao, they actually did not bring the Pirelli qualifier.
Right.
So you would have done that on sort of like a sprint. A soft
tyre.
but not a proper. That's fast, but it just shows you how fast the superbikes are as well.
I guess it shows as well at a track like this where a rider can make the difference, and you don't use the rider aids as much.
You can't use
the ride out device
so much.
Where do you use the ride out device here?
Out of last turn and out of turn 4.
Yeah, so only twice.
Yeah, that's it.
Rain coming down here now.
You know,
I
think Pirellis are going to. I think when they do the Pirelli tyre change, the lap times will be even faster, even with the 850s, because the Pirellis are going to be so better.
On some tracks it's going to be more difficult than others to get near the lap times of the previous bikes. That, you know, I'm thinking like Austria and track like that is going to be maybe a bit difficult. because where you can use them, they do make quite a big difference.
Nothing wrong with that, was there?
It looked good, didn't it?
Good.
Yeah. What a great base to start your weekend on, really.
Yeah, incredible.
It's like a dream start.
Yeah, I bet he wasn't expecting that.
Interesting to see when we're going to put some soft rubber, if he, how he's, because everything is going to be new for him, you know, it's all new, the light bike, the grip in the rear. It's going to be a different experience to what he gets in World Superbikes when they put a new tyre. It's a different feel, you know. The main thing is the tyres, and if you can understand that, well, obviously he was able to do it with the mediums, so.
Gav's also pointed out, and it just made me smile. He's smiling when he's told me. He went, and also Buliger is on this year's aero, which has been a big thing for Pecco. He's not gone on to the latest aero. He stayed with the old aero. Marquez, of course, went to the new aero, and it's funny that Buliger's gone.
I'll have the new air. I'll have what Mark had.
Yeah.
I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, please.
And has performed really well with it. That is interesting. Lots of cheers you can hear there from Miguel Oliveira on his last MotoGP Portuguese Grand Prix weekend. That's his dad to the left, always by his side.
Yeah, and you know what? Obviously, MotoGP's loss is World Superbike's gain, because Miguel's a gentleman. He can be spiky at times, which I quite like. He's an incredibly fast, talented rider, and if he can find a home at BMW, if they can give him the feeling he needs, his ability is not in question. I mean, he's fought for world titles in Moto3, Moto2, and obviously won 5 MotoGP races. I mean, the kid's not slow, and he's only 30 years old, so he'll have, hopefully, between 5 and 10 good years in World Superbikes.
It's all the dignitaries. But just 20th fastest today, which I think has surprised all of us a little bit, especially with, you know, like we said earlier, with Jack being up there in the top 3.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah, first and only Portuguese to race. But we haven't got any other Portuguese riders.
In any of the classes?
It's a bit like the whole British scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from, obviously, we've got
Eddie O'Shea
down in
Scotland.
In Moto3, but looks a bit bleak for Portugal.
Same with the French, actually. There's
no French coming through.
No.
Good job you got 2 really good guys in MotoGP at the moment.
Yeah, those 2 are gold, but then behind, it's not easy. Yeah.
Much conversation to be had in the Ducati garage. Once again, a tale of 2 stories, really. On one side, this brilliance from Nico Buliger, who's opted to go for 2025 Aero, has done a tremendous job on that bike, jumping on it for the first time. And then on the other side of the garage, it's another head-scratching weekend so far for Pecco Bagnaia. Neil's going off to do his lap. Unfortunately, it's just started raining, so... Well, that's an excuse for going a bit slower anyway, isn't it, Silver? Michael Laverty is with us. Do you want to jump in, Michael? Jump in the hot seat as you're here. Did you just say no under your breath? Yeah, oh, that's all right then. That was Neil. We've still got 5 minutes of chat, so it'd be nice to collect some of Mr. Laverty's thoughts on what he thinks going on here. With everything in mind, what you've just seen between Nico Buliger coming in and Pecco Bagnaia having another nightmare start to a weekend. What have you noticed?
Interesting. It's good to see that the transition from Superbike to MotoGP is relatively seamless. It obviously shows the level that Ducati's Panigale is at, electronics-wise. It was an interesting comment that Toprak made, that he felt perhaps World Superbike was a better school for riding a MotoGP bike, because you learn the electronics and how to set them up. And obviously Buliger jumping straight in and showing that it doesn't take too long for him to adapt. But I have spoke a lot with Chaz Davies. He works closely with Buliger in World Superbike as his rider coach, and he said the Nicola Bulliga that he started with in World Supersport a few years ago is a different Nicola Bulliga right now. He said even he can't believe the level he's adapted to. He said he's such a polished and complete package right now. So yeah, he could be the young fast Italian that was under the radar a little bit for Ducati, and he could be the next coming for Ducati, perhaps with Pecco on current form. Although the comments from Pirro this week, he believes that Pecco's problems go away next year. That won't be an issue for him, whatever is in the pipeline for the GP26 machine from Ducati.
Well, let's hope that's correct, because what we want is a fast Pecco on that bike, challenging Mark. And, you know, we want the fast Aprilias. We want Yamaha to find something more. We want them all to be challenging Ducati, don't we?
And it is looking that way lately. There's a better shot of the jump from Jack Miller down the hill. But it's looking that way, isn't it? With Honda being so strong in the flyaway races, Yamaha's V4, yes, it's got some development needed. Jack is obviously the bunny hop master down the hill. But yeah, they're certainly a coming force from the Japanese manufacturers, and we will see a resurgence from Pecco next year, the Aprilia duo of Bezzecchi and Martin back together, and then Alex Marquez on a factory Ducati. I think there's going to be a few thorns in Marc Marquez's side in the last season of flooring devices and Michelin tyres.
Yep, be great to see. What's not great to see is what I can see right now, ladies and gentlemen, which you won't be able to witness, obviously, with this being audio, but we're having to watch Neil Hodgson change into his leathers. If only we could stay on the pictures and commentate on Neil's lap. You could do one of these little bunny hops. We've only got 15 minutes. Yeah, that's true. We probably wouldn't have time for the fit the lap in. That's Michael, what kind of sprint race do you think we are going to get here this weekend? I don't think it's going to be raining. I think it's only today that weather's coming in.
Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of threat of rain here this afternoon, but tomorrow all looks good. I think it's going to be, well, it's always difficult to predict here. It's good to see Jack on the pace. He always goes well around here. I think it is the motocross nature of the quarter-mile roller coaster. Yeah, I remember Jack turning up here for the first sprint with KTM and being in the podium battle. Alex looking strong here this morning. Alex Marquez obviously cementing his runner-up position in the championship. Will be looking to ride free over these last few rounds. But
I think it's going to be quite an interesting run. Well, my thanks to you all at home for joining us. We shall be back later on for the action from the practice hour, where TNT once again will take you through the action. You can join us for that later on at 3 o'clock Portuguese and UK time. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later on. Alex Marquez fastest in the first free practice session. See you later. Bye-bye.